So you don't think this could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way? No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happened.
So for you, that was always priced into the decision?
Yes.
He's lying. Let's be clear about what's going on politically right now before we go into the rest of this disastrous interview for Joe Biden. Let's discuss the political situation on the ground. And I know what you might be saying, Jesse, it's not political, it's a human rights disaster and all this. You should be right. You should be right. It's not political. It's extremely political. One, remember what I told you last night. I'm about to repeat it to you in case you forgot. The three things the people who run your culture all have in common now. The people who run your cultural institutions, they all share these three things, all right? And this definitely applies to Joe Biden, Secretary of Defense, Milley, all the people around Joe Biden. This applies to everybody who runs your country, all right? Three things. One, there's no love of country. Many of them hate the country, but there's no love of country. So you're going to have to filter everything you see through that lens. They're not sitting down right now. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Milley, all these guys, they're not sitting down right now and thinking to themselves, what's best for America? What? We have these civilians there. We look bad in front of the world. What's best for America? That thought has not even entered their minds. They don't think that way. That's how you think. That's how I think. That's not their worldview. So set that aside. There's no patriotism. They're not worried about America. They're worried about politics. They're worried about their political career. How can I weather this political storm? Do we have to sacrifice somebody? And I'll get to that in a moment. But that's what they're worried about. It's all politics, right? All politics. That's one. Two, second thing, all these people have in common, all of them, they've never lived in the real world. Or if they have, it's been decades and decades and decades ago. They grew up upper middle class or rich. They then moved on to some fancy university, almost universally. It's Yale, Harvard, whatever. And universities are the ultimate bubble, right? There's no crime. The lawns are perfect. The buildings are pristine. It's right. It's not the real world. And then right from there into politics or into one of the government bureaucracies. They've never experienced the real world. And they think because they're only academics, they don't have any real world experience, they think we've moved on to a more civilized time. Because that's all they've ever known. That's two. You got them both, right? And third, and this one's also important too, they think they're above you. And not in the general snobbishness way, although that's there too. They believe they are above you and should rule over you. Not just that they're better than you, they should actually be able to make your decisions for you because they're above you. You're a peasant. They're the kings. They are above you. They all share those three things, everybody. It explains everything you're seeing right now. The Biden administration is in the middle of a political disaster. This is not Republican, Democrat. This isn't left or right. None of this is. We are in the middle of the worst foreign policy disaster on the world stage since Vietnam. That's a half century. It sucks. It's really, really bad. It's really bad. That's not debatable. What I just said is not debatable. We pulled all of our people out of Afghanistan. Okay, that's fine. We left 15,000 American citizens there and just left. And now the American citizens who are there, they can't get to the one place we still have secured, the airport. Oh, we're telling them get to the airport so we can get you out. But we're also telling them, I don't know how to get you there. I can't get you there. Sorry, it's nothing I can do about it. Good luck. Well, the Taliban control all the routes to and from the airport, every single route. These people aren't getting past checkpoints. The stories I'm hearing behind the scenes are horrific. Horrific. Some of them I won't even share verbally on the show about things that are happening to Afghanistan citizens. And I'm starting to hear whispers, I'm not going to confirm any of these yet, that we're having American citizens hurt now too. They can't get to the airport. We pulled all our troops out and left all of our citizens there. And we left all the equipment. So the Taliban have everything now. This is an international embarrassment. America has been the global superpower for your entire lifetime. It has. We took over that rule right about the end of World War I. That's when we really became top dog. And we've been top dog ever since. That's about 100 years. The world is looking right now, and they're asking, are they still top dog? I mean, this is not what the top dog does. You know what the Taliban are doing right now? They're going around confiscating civilian firearms. If you don't see where this leads, then honestly, I think you probably need to turn off the TV and go do whatever you can do to increase your IQ points. There's only one reason the Taliban would be going around seizing civilian weapons. When I brought up at the beginning of the show that this is only the beginning of all this, you need to understand it's only the beginning of all this. This hasn't reached some crescendo and we're about to be past this, just 24-hour news cycle. No. Afghanistan is about to descend into a barbaric bloodbath. And we still have a civil war coming in Afghanistan. Northern Alliance is still together, well-armed, well-equipped. These two groups are going to go to war. And in civil wars, the atrocities are so bad. This is the beginning of the beginning. That's where we are right now. But, you know, the State Department, here's what they're worried about.
On the political front, we saw a very strong statement on Monday from the UN Security Council, including China and Russia. They reiterated the need for an inclusive, just, durable, and realistic political settlement that protects human rights, including for women, children, and minorities.
Inclusive? These are not people who reside in the real world. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.